It's another Jeep with a wreath. Do you remember the last one? The last one was sparkly. This one's not sparkly, but it's okay. I'm sure plenty of Jeeps have wreaths on the back. I'm sure that's not that crazy of a thing to do. I think it's pretty cool when people figure out a way to put Christmas lights on top of their vehicle. I'm not motivated enough to do things like that. I mean, I'm not motivated to clean my car, as you can see. But anyway. I was thinking about the way that I talk about a lot of stuff. And how I probably sound like I'm really hateful towards, society. And I am. I totally am. I know I am. But it kind of goes with the territory of being a comedian. Like when you're aware of a lot of stuff that most people either discard or disregard entirely so that they can keep watching TV and, numbing themselves essentially. It's really frustrating. And hello. Now, I don't mean to be self-righteous or anything, because I really can't stand that personality trait. So if I do that in any way, I'm sorry about it. I don't know if it's a defense mechanism, or I don't know if I'm just angry. I'm angry because of the way that things are. I'm angry because of the way that people behave and, there's no consequences for their actions. And that's just so exasperating to live in a world that is so bereft of, actual justice. I mean, that's why we have all these systems that don't do anything that they say. They literally do the exact opposite of what they tell society they're going to do. And it's just frustrating that people keep trusting them. And you try to explain this, and you're not going to be able to. Because then you'd have to sit that person down and have a 20-year long conversation about all the things that you've noticed since you were born. And most people aren't going to notice things like that, so say you're watching a football game. Let's say you're really into football, so you're rooting for your team. There are going to be things that happen during the game that you're not going to even notice because you're so focused on the rules of the game. Whereas somebody that doesn't give a fuck about the rules, somebody that knows that all the games are rigged anyway, they're going to pay attention to different stuff. And that's always the case. Outsiders are going to have a much clearer perspective of the way that things truly are because they're not sucked into the rules. They're not sucked into the game. They're not sucked into the system. And yeah, if I get a little self-righteous about that, it's because people continue to shit on me for being an outsider. But I never shit on them for being boring, I mean, at least not to their face. I'm not going to be rude to them. I'm not going to be mean. I don't like mean people. Even when somebody deserves somebody, what the fuck? Leave, bitch, leave. 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 Stupid ass. Why do they pull out that way? Why? They should not be allowed to do that. Yeah, it's just inconvenient. It's inconvenient for everybody involved. Look, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Does that make any sense? Why would you pull out over there when you could pull out over here, or you could pull out over here? No, I'm gonna do it in the most awkwardly way I possibly can, and make it hard for other people to pull into the parking lot in the entryway. It's just little shit like that. Anyway, yeah, I probably seem like I'm like so tense, and you know, there's somebody that was like repeatedly asking me if I was happy, or like if I was like ever like not angry. I'm like, well, why are you expecting somebody to stand up to not be angry? You know? It's like, I am happy. Like, when I'm happy, I'm really happy. But when I'm mad, I'm really mad. And when I'm chill, I'm really chill. When I'm sad, I'm really sad. Like, my emotions are really intense, and, you know, sometimes I kind of downplay that. I mean, I don't think I do here. I think, like, this channel makes it pretty obvious that that is not going away. But, you know, it's just like, I have to explain a lot of things to people. Like, I talked to my friend. I want to let y'all know, the one that was bothering me at church. So at least we had a conversation about it. But I think that he finally kind of backed off. But yeah, I hate how, like, I am a really moody person. And that, like, the way that I come across can seem really, like, bitter. And it's true. It's totally true. But, you know, I'm not going to deny the intensity of my emotions. I'm not going to deny that my mind is always racing, and that I just kind of accept that that's the way that it is, and I'm not, like, gonna bemoan that, but I'm also not gonna, like, deny it either. You know, and I think that, like, we live in a society that's very either or, black or white, play the victim or pretend you're a victor. And I just think that's fucking stupid. And it's disingenuous, and you're lying to yourself about something because you don't want to come across a certain way. And, you know, I'll just come across the way I come across. If it offends you, sorry. I don't mean for it to be offensive. But if it is, it is. And, you know, there's just a lot of stuff out there that it's like the stuff that people make a big deal about, I'll never understand. Versus the stuff that they should be making a big deal about that they don't have any time to have a conversation about. They don't have any time to pay attention to, like, certain aspects of their existence, and because of that, like, other aspects of their existence are negatively impacted by that, but then they want to complain about it. But it's like, if you had paid attention,